Hello. Thank you all for joining. Do you know who this is? Yes, you do. Just in case you don't know, I'm so glad that you guys are joining me. I have a very special guest coming on. I know I always say that, but this is true. This is extra special. But just in case, if you don't know who I am, my name is Yolanda. I am locating cozy, and this is a broad chat. So thanks for joining me. And today I get the opportunity to actually speak with one of the beautiful young women that has actually moved to Zaragoza, Spain in the past, I'll just say few months, sometime this year. But before we get started with my special guest, I do want to ask you that you please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will know whenever I have anything greatly insightful and wonderful to say, I just got to share my knowledge. Make sure you do that. Woosah. Now, let's talk. Hold on just a second. I'm bringing up some information. I have my wonderful guest, Kathy. Thank you. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Yolanda. How are you?
I'm great, girl. I
So
can't
good to
believe I
see you.
got you on. I'm so excited about this.
Me too.
So, I wanted to bring you on because you recently moved to Spain.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you hate it here, but
I love it here. I love it.
so you recently moved to not just Spain, but you moved to Zaragoza. And that is something that you didn't even know you were going to do that.
That's right. It was, yeah. But that was a blessing. It was a blessing.
It was a great blessing. And you know what? I know that you acknowledge that it was a great blessing for you to make this transition and move here. But I want to also just share, just off the top, I've been speaking about, like incognito for the past, couple of months. Like one of my friends now, my girlfriend, she moved here and everything. I never said your name. If I did, it was very vague. But this is Kathy, and she moved here, and it's been a blessing because you actually attended. I created the Black in Zaragoza group back in January, but the first time that we actually had a meetup, it was like right after you arrived here in Zaragoza,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, and it was amazing. It
And
was,
you were still on the fence a little bit because you thought that you might be
yeah. My
Barcelona.
my original plan was to come here. Well, my original plan was to move to Barcelona.
Hmm.
But when I started researching and saw how much apartments were costing, I thought, I know. And then, you're on the online sites. So I was thinking, well, if I can get to Spain, I know that I can find some apartments that are less expensive than I'm seeing. And
Hmm.
so I just kind of pulled out a map and looked for some
This is
place
what she did. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
else I could be. And I saw on the map that Zaragoza was bold. It was black and in bold. And I was like, and it looked about halfway between Madrid and Barcelona. And I was like, I'll go there.
And I remember when I can't remember how okay, so did you find me online via my YouTubes or how did you come about finding me?
See, so I started, once I decided that I was going to come to Zaragoza, that was going to be my base while I looked for an apartment in Barcelona. I
Mhm.
started looking at Facebook groups, and then I saw your blog. I saw your video. You were interviewing, I think the first interview I saw, I know the second interview I saw was Kayla. But
My
I
daughter.
can't remember the first interview I saw. But anyway, and then I started watching your interviews you were doing. And
Mhm.
so I had posted something, I think in Blacks in Zaragoza, and then you responded, either there in another one of the
Mhm.
Facebook groups. And you responded to me and said, I'm gonna message you. And I was like, wow, that is absolutely amazing. I remember calling all my friends, like, I met this woman online that is going to message me now. She lives
And
in
she doesn't
Zaragoza.
seem
Like, I
psychotic.
really know somebody there. And so, yeah, you messaged me, and then we started talking. You were giving me advice about the process as I was going through trying to get my visa, my paperwork, and all those things together. And I think we talked 3 or 4 times, and then you invited me when I got here. So I told you I would be here like in the beginning of July. And then
Mhm.
you invited me to a brunch that was like, I think 3 or 4 days after I landed.
Yeah, and it
And
was literally the very first Black in Zaragoza meetup that we had here. And yeah, the turnout was amazing. And when you arrived and saw all the other wonderful Black women that were just hanging out and
it was
welcoming,
it was amazing. It was the young women who came to that brunch, each of them just absolutely amazing. And that was the connection that led to relationships. And
yes.
so for that, I would be eternally grateful to you. Like it
Oh,
was just that those were some of the most amazing young women I've ever met. Just I emphasize young because I'm old, and so I always need young people around
seasoned.
me.
There's a difference. We're seasoned. We're
Hmm.
mature. We're seasoned. We
Uh-huh.
ain't old.
I'm
We
almost burned
seasoned.
up. I so yeah, and they have been. In fact, one of the young women that was at the brunch, we found out that we were both from Illinois
Yes.
and we were alumna of the same law school.
Yes. That was
We,
such a beautiful thing because it was just like, it was just like having this nice little block conversation, everybody from different walks of life and different experiences. And, the group was not just, Americans from, it wasn't just like people from the US that have come here. It was
mhm,
people from all over, some women that had lived here for years, like, one young lady, I'm not going to say her name, it's her business, but one young lady, she's lived here, she was like in her mid 30s, but she's lived here since she was, I think she said 12 or 13 years old.
yeah,
And, she was from, I think, Ghana. But it was just such a beautiful mix of women, and there was no airs about it. It was just all love and
it was.
positivity.
It was
Yeah.
fantastic. It was amazing. It was amazing. And actually, from that brunch, the relationships that I developed convinced me that I should just stay in Zaragoza and not worry about Barcelona. And so that's what I've done. That's exactly what I've done.
Okay, so yeah, people that know me, I'm gonna just step off and just say something. People that know me know that I go squirrel. Like I don't stay on topic. But when I can stay on topic, so I create a little outline of what I'm supposed to be asking and talking about. But when I stay on topic and I don't have a script like behind the scenes, it's amazing. And that's what's happening right now. We're just talking and I don't even have my script pulled up. I don't have my outline or anything pulled up. It's just us talking. This is good. Okay, this is good.
It is
Okay.
good. I honestly, in all transparency and honesty, I was very nervous, but I don't feel nervous at all. You have a way of making things simple, easy, and making people feel confident.
Thank you. So I when you came here, and I know like your family back home was kind of like, what's she
Mhm,
doing? What
mhm.
is she doing? And then, they had some concerns and there were some adjustments and things that you didn't know. And, I'm so happy that I was, able to be there for you, but also you helped me remember some things that I need to tell people when they're coming here, like the data. Okay.
The day
The
oh,
phone data. The
oh,
phone data. So here's what happened. We were supposed to meet at the tram stop at Fernando Catalí. Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so that's the tram stop, and I was like, "Okay, she knows where this is. It's just a few blocks away from her Airbnb." But I, living here for over a year now, did not realize that the tram stop a couple of stops down has a statue of Fernando Catalí.
Yes, ma'am. When you said we're gonna meet at the tram stop, Fernando Catalico, I
They
was like, "Oh,
yeah.
I know exactly where that is. That's where that statue is." I didn't even bother to Google it, and I because you had been showing me around so much, I felt confident, like, "Oh, I know where that is." And so, yeah, I
Like,
go
"I
to
got
that
this."
tram stop, and
And I'm still up here, and so I'm at one tram stop, she's at another tram stop, and I'm calling her, but she does not have any data. She still has like you still had US data or whatever, and you hadn't gotten any like travel data or anything like that set up
nothing,
yet. You had only
nothing,
been here like a week or so.
nothing. I had
But for
nothing.
me, even though I know that you have your family and you were okay and everything, she's a smart person. But for me, I was like, Why ain't she answering her phone? I'm having all kinds of anxiety myself. I'm like, where's she at? Why isn't she answering her phone? Why isn't she here at this tram stop? Yeah, I was having all kinds of anxiety. And then I went grocery shopping. I was like, she's fine. I'm going to the grocery store. We were going to go to the Mercado Central. That's what it was. I think that's what it was. And or Carrefour. No, we were going to Carrefour. Anyways, and then right as I was finishing my grocery shopping, you called me, and I was like, why she want to call me?
I tried everything I could think of to get some. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't see, or so I had sent you a WhatsApp message, but I couldn't
Hmm.
see whether you got it, and I didn't get a message back. I wasn't getting anything, so I was confused. Then I was worried. I was feeling anxiety because now she's someplace waiting for me, and I'm obviously in the wrong place. I don't know how I'm in the wrong place, but I'm obviously we crossed our signals some kind of way. And then I was looking for like a cafe or something that I could go to and use their data because in the United States, Wi-Fi is
Hmm.
widely available when you go into cafes. Like if you go to
Yeah,
Starbucks or if you go to
yeah.
basically any place that has coffee, they're gonna have Wi-Fi. And yeah, that was not a thing. It we didn't know. So finally, I don't know. I flipped a switch. I was all in settings, doing all kind of craziness, and I was able to use my phone to call you. So yeah, and it took me that much time. What was that? Almost an hour later
Yeah, that was about an hour later. Yeah, because
to
I had finished
figure out
grocery
how to
shopping at
even give
Mercadona.
you a verbal.
I was like, I got my groceries. I don't need to go to Carrefour or Mercado Central. I'm fine.
I was just glad that we were finally able to connect, and I could explain that wasn't at home sleeping or something and had forgotten all about it.
Yeah, and again, I know that I wasn't responsible for you, but like you had connected with me, and I mean, I know that you had met some people, but you had just connected with me. So I was like, I don't even have in a case of emergency for her. That
Yeah.
is not something that I do for everybody that comes through, don't get me wrong. But because we had connected so well, I was like, I don't know who her family is. I was like, on future forms, this is being completed. So I can reach out and be like, "I done lost your family member." Oh,
Yeah, that was something else. But like when I after you reached out to me on Facebook and we connected, and then I got here, and you think like, oh well, that was very nice of her, but I may not ever see her again or whatever. But then when I got here, and I think the first night I was here, you reached out again and
mhm.
asked me if I wanted to. I'm trying to think what was that first thing. Was it going walking or
I know that we were in the Internations group and I had invited you to come walk, and I think that was probably the second day. But one of the things that maybe it was just a weekend, I can't remember. But one of the things that I do remember is when before you even came, when we were talking, because I was trying to get like the logistically, how close would you be to me? And
oh yeah.
where were you staying in Zaragoza? And I asked you, I said, well, what's your address, the Airbnb address? And okay, in the United States, you asked that, it's like, you're gonna try to kill me. But it was a genuine, I was just trying to figure out how close you were to me. It's like where did
Mhm.
I have to catch a tram to, or how can we connect? I was thinking logistically wise, and then come to find out that you were literally just like, not even a half a mile from where, like, it was a
Mhm.
5-minute walk for us to
Yeah,
meet
that
up,
was
and
amazing.
it was
All,
really cool.
all just everything just fell right into place. And
Yeah, I
then
felt like it was meant to be. Yeah.
absolutely. And then the things you don't even think about when you're coming, like the little things and the big things, but the little things, which really not that little. When the first time we met in person, one of the things you said, you have to get a transit card and you get them
Yeah.
from the tobacco shop. Now,
Yeah.
how would I have ever, where does that happen? And that was
You gotta go to the cigarette place to get a public transportation card? Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, and we had met at now what I now know to be San Francisco tram station. And then because
Mhm.
I couldn't find a tobacco shop. You had pointed it out. You'll see like this sign and that's where couldn't find one. And then we met at San Francisco, and then like right across the street from that tram stop was a tobacco shop. And you were like, oh hey, come on, let's go over here and get you a transit card. That was
And then they didn't have them there. So we
that's
I remember they didn't have them.
that's right.
So And with that, again, there's little nuggets that I was, like nuggets of knowledge that I was dropping, for her to make her stay here as comfortable as possible. But again, the whole data thing. So now I have in my welcome guide, and there's a link if you're interested in getting email subscriptions. But on my welcome guide, I have there, like, please make sure that you get your travel data to start. It's like up to 90 days. And I think it's like 90 euro for 90 days. And I don't know, I'm just throwing, I got a number, but it's important that you get that because it makes it so much easier. It's not a phone number. It's just so you can use WhatsApp and the basic, like, get on the internet or whatever, because that's a game changer. Because in another country, like in Spain, your basic communication is going to be via WhatsApp. That's how you're
Mhm.
going to message everybody. That's how you're going to possibly make phone calls. So you want that data. Yeah. And after not being able to find you that morning and we're at the wrong tram station, realizing, yeah, I forgot to tell her this.
That
Yes, I had felt like I had done you a disservice because I forgot to tell you that, by
not
the
at
way.
all. Not at all. Grown folks ought to.
Like, I
Yeah,
lost Kathy because I forgot to tell her this.
that was wild.
So,
Yeah.
what are some of the hold on just a second. So now that you're here,
Mhm.
what do you see? I know we're gonna get into some more detail, but did you always see yourself living abroad at some point, or was it just something that was really unexpected that you just had that big epiphany?
Yeah, it was unexpected. I've been to
Mhm.
Barcelona a couple of times, and I came in May of 2024 with a bunch of friends, and we were walking, and I just thought, you know what, I could live here. I can live here. I really like this vibe. Oh, yeah, I'm going to move here for a year. So I made that decision. I just announced to everybody, yeah, I'm moving to Barcelona for a year. And then, of course, they thought, okay, all right. And then when I got home, I started really looking into it. And then yeah, why not? I talked it over with my family and told them I was interested. And yeah, started the process. And here I am.
What was your family's initial take on the conversation
My
of
sister she didn't believe it. And then she was, I'm going to use the word sad, I think.
Mhm.
The more I continued to talk about it and started to make plans about it, like, I can't believe you are leaving. But my son was actually very excited for me, but also
Okay,
concerned because I'm a little bit forgetful.
okay.
We're gonna have to get you an iPhone so I can know exactly where you are at every minute of every day.
Because you had different phones when you arrived and trying to get those set
I
up,
had an
and yeah,
Android,
with
what I use, and then the iPhone that he and my sister got me so they could keep track of me.
before you go, let us sneak this air tag into your bra.
Basically, that's exactly right. Basically, I need to know exactly where you are at every moment. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was carrying two phones everywhere and didn't have any data.
So did you consider any other countries, or was it when you first had this, like, idea, it was instantly Spain, or were there some other countries that you were like, let's"
I never thought about leaving the United States. I never considered moving out of the United States.
Okay,
Really, basically, never considered moving out of Chicago area. Well, that's not true. I was going to move to Vermont. I didn't. And then it just came to me, move to Spain, move to Barcelona. And then, God works it out. So you get to exactly where you're supposed to be. And I feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be because not only did I not go to Barcelona and came here, but also I plan to stay. Like, clearly a year is not long enough. Who
yeah.
know? I might be here from now on.
So I have this look on my face right now because it reminds me of when my daughter, when Kayla moved to Spain back in 2016, she said, "I'll be gone for a year." And I was like, "Okay." And then my oldest daughter was the one that said, "Didn't you say 2 years?" And my youngest daughter was like, "Shut up." So, in some kind of in a same different sense, you told your family and your son it would be a year, but how have you let them know that it's probably gonna be a little bit longer than a year?
Well, I was in a conversation with my son, and I was telling him how much I liked it. I really liked it. I've started to build community, and everybody here is so nice. It's been so kind to me. And my connection to the connector, that's you, the connector, made it so much, so easy to be here. And he said, that sounds like you set me up for another conversation. Well, maybe. And so my sister came here, and when she came here and saw how I was living, she understood, that
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not ready to come back in a year. So we'll
yeah,
see. Now I have to make arrangements because my son graciously agreed to pay my mortgage while I'm here. He
mhm,
agreed to do that for a year, and I don't want to stop him from doing his next thing. So
yeah.
I have to figure out something at home. But I'm here. I'm here until otherwise.
And I've had the pleasure of meeting your sister, and then you had 2 of your friends, like childhood friends that came to
Hmm.
visit, like, what, not even a month ago, and I felt so honored. It was such an honor to meet them, and also I feel like meeting them and them meeting me and the community here, the wonderful women that you have met and becomes friends with, that they feel like, "Okay, y'all are taking care of her. Y'all got her." Like she's building this community and she's okay and we don't have to be there. Please understand. I'm not saying that Kathy has some kind of special, needs where she has to be watched or anything like that's not what I'm
I
saying.
might.
We're not gonna tell that story. But anyways, but you can just see the calmness with your sister when we met and we hung out and she was like, okay, she's good. She's safe. Because when people would, there's always that scary like voice someplace in people's, that are saying like, "Oh, don't go to that country. It's gonna get you."
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Oh
And
yes.
then when your family, when you arrive, I'm sure we all have that feeling when we first arrive someplace that we don't know. But when your family or friends come and they're like, "Oh, oh, okay, girl." As my sister-in-law had said to me when she first thought I was absolutely out of my mind when I gave up my apartment in Dallas and started pet sitting full time for a year and a half, and then I moved to another country. She was like, "What's wrong with her?" And then, like, later on when I interviewed her, that's what she said, and then she says once she saw, she was like, "Oh, this version of happy looks good on you." And I
Yeah.
think that's what your family and friends saw also
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you.
Whenever I talk to my son, he's like, "Ma, you just sound lighter. You just sound lighter. I'm so
Oh.
happy for you. Thank you." And yeah, and it did. My sister was really amazed and impressed by the everybody she met, you and everybody. And I think it did allay their fears somewhat that I'm good.
So what do you think your biggest fear before making the leap? What do you think maybe was getting inside your head, your biggest fear or doubt or hesitation about the move? And let me just say this. I had a whole come to Jesus boohoo crying session just a few weeks before I moved here in April 2024. I was like, "What are you doing?" So did you have any of that kind of fear or concern about you making such a big leap?
I don't think I really did. It just felt right. It felt like the time was right. It felt like the place was right. I think my greatest concern was being able to build community, like being able to meet people. And so I
Yeah.
had thought, oh, I'll join a lot of things. I'll join a health club and I'll, find a bicycle group and so I can meet people. And then once I met you and then came here, we had the brunch. Then that part was taken care of. And then the next part was the language. It felt like the language barrier was the biggest
Yeah.
challenge I had, even though through a combination of pantomime, charades, and knowing a word here or there, I've been
Mhm.
able to make it. But for example, we went to a cafe and
Mhm.
I wouldn't have known what to say or what to order or anything. And then you ordered things in Spanish. It just seemed real easy and
I
fluid.
did.
Yeah, you
Wait a
did.
minute.
And then
Oh,
you had
see,
a question about something. I could never ask a question because Yeah, like I would just have to accept whatever they gave me and be like, okay, well, this is what it is. 'Cause
If be agreeing to a contract murder, I would not know. God, no.
and that's the thing,
Like,
and that's the other thing about you that makes your decision to start this other service, the accompaniment service, such a
the travel
great
buddy
the
experience.
travel
Yes,
buddies. Such
yes.
a great idea for you is your confidence. Like you're fearless. Like it's not like so a lot of us we won't venture out or we won't step too far outside of our comfort zone because we're afraid we're going to be embarrassed. Somebody's going to be looking at us crazy and we're going to humiliate ourselves. And you just don't have that fear. You're just like, yeah, I don't understand what that means. So let's figure it out and then
I
move
have the fear. Don't get me wrong. I want to be clear to everybody in this room, just you and I talking right now. Me and, maybe the other 150 other people. I have the fear. I
forward.
just have to keep going. I just have to go. I have to take it with me and be like, well, come on, fear. We going today. Let's go see what mess we can get into.
All
Yeah,
right.
I have the fear. Make
Then
no
I used the
mistake.
wrong word, the
You
courage.
know, one of it. And the reason why I wanted to like clarify that is because so many of us, and right now I'm really speaking to Black women as far as us being told through, our past or whatever, that this is what you're supposed to do. Stay in your lane. Don't veer. Don't dare to do more, whatever. And we have grown in leaps and bounds. And your experience, with what you've done, and me, and like a lot of the women in our group, and internationally, what's happening is we're saying, you know what? Society may have told me that this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my lane, but I'm going to step outside my lane and I'm
Mhm.
going to do things my way and figure it out, fear
That's
and
right.
all.
Yeah,
Take it with you and release it at the proper time.
that's what you do. You figure it out. You figure it
Thank
out. And it
you.
looks fearless, but I guess the correct word is it's courageous. So
Thank you.
thank you for
I'm getting a big head. Okay. I'm kidding. I'm kind
it.
of wobble. Okay.
I think that I really honestly it speaks to your personality and the
Thank you.
personality traits that because anybody could have come up with this idea, but not
Yeah.
everybody could do it and do it well.
Yeah, because not
It
everybody. Yeah, and I will toot my own horn on this. Okay, so the fact is, yes, many people, because there's tour guides and there's many professions in the welcoming and hospitality industry that it takes a
Mhm.
special person. And what I like about the service that I'm offering, the Travel Buddy experience that has gone live now, so the link is right here or in the description below, is the fact that I know my personality. I am not one that can create me. I can't create courses. I can't. Well, you know what? I'll never say never. Right now, it's not in my wheelhouse to create
Mhm,
a
mhm.
course or anything like that. My wheelhouse is I am a one-on-one, give love and support, hold your hand, cheer you on cheerleader. That's who I am. So when I meet people, and I've had many women come through, and I've met them in Madrid, and I've met them here in Zaragoza, and I find community. I just came back from France and did a 2-week pet sit. I found community there. That's my personality, and I want to drag people. And I say that word. I want to drag women and
Mhm.
be like, "Come on here, girl. We can do this. I'll be your friend. Let's
That's
hang
right.
out and do great things." That's my personality.
And that's exactly the thing you just described. That's exactly how I felt. Come on, girl, we can do this. I got like I had a friend from the very beginning. And yeah, so that welcoming and engaging, friendly and adventurous spirit that you have, the knowledge, and not just knowledge, but the generosity that you have with your knowledge. Like you don't hold back information, or I'm gonna hold that back. I don't know, but just you don't hold back information. You show everything. It's amazing. It is. It feels
Thank
like
you.
yeah, it's like being with a friend. And the other thing about it that was truly amazing. It was comfortable from the moment you reached out to me. Like it was comfortable from that moment and only got more and more comfortable after I met you. And then the other part about it is the connection. Even if people aren't going to stay up in a place, you will meet people that you may want to stay connected with. And
Yeah.
your ability to connect people, it's a gift.
Yes.
A gift.
Okay. So I'll just say her name is Jay. So I was in, and I've told this story, but now that I have you here, I can really share it. So I was in France on my pet sit in Marseille, and I always be like, yes, I was in France on my pet sit. I was in the French Riviera, but there was a young lady that was here that came to Spain, I think from London, and she had reached out to me and she was like, so, hey, I'm in Zaragoza and I'm not expecting you to connect with me, but I just want to let you know that I'm in Zaragoza. And she's part of the Exodus Summit community. So I was like, oh, well, shoot, I'm not in Zaragoza right now. I'm not home. I'm actually in France, but hold on. And I didn't tell her about you at all. All I did, I just said, hold on, let me see if I can connect you with someone. And then I reached out to you and I said, hey, girl, I know that you might be busy and I'm not expecting anything from you, but there's a Black woman that's in Zaragoza that I think that, she's not far from you. And would you be open to meeting up with her? I can just pass your information on. And you guys ended up meeting up with another young lady in the community. And I was just so happy about that,
Yeah, it
that I
was
was the
amazing.
connector.
Me and the one of the young women that I met at the brunch. We were at the mall when you contacted me.
Mhm.
And I told her, "Yeah, I'm gonna and I Jay and I contacted and agreed we would meet wherever. And so, and then I asked the other young lady if she wanted to go. So we all went, we met up, man. We had such a great evening. It was so fun. I mean, it was super fun. So yeah, that
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's
And even this past weekend, and I can say her name because we've already I already interviewed her. Ayana came to visit from the States,
right.
had had a great time. Oh my goodness. We hung out and we just had such a great time. And she's like, again, she was one of the people, she was like, because she didn't, her whole thing was she was a country, well, like kind of scouting Spain. And she was like, I have to be coastal. It has to be Malaga or Valencia. It has to be like on the beachfront. And next thing you know, she's like, well, so I'm going to come to Zaragoza. And then when she was here, it's like, oh, I get it. I get it. Okay. We had such a wonderful time.
We had a wonderful time. And then, and what? We found out that we have the same neighborhood in
Oh,
common back in
what about that? Yes.
crazy.
They're
Some
like,
things are meant to be.
I used to pass your house is right there next to that bank, blah, 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 and everything. And I'm like, what is happening?
Right? It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, that's so crazy. It's like, and I thank you again because, and this does not happen all the time as far as, because I reached out to Kathy and I was like, so, hey, Ayana's in town and we're going to get together and do this. And would you like to meet up? And she was like, yes. And Kathy has like this beautiful loft flat that is unbelievable find here in Zaragoza. But she invited us over, and I was like, "Yes, we get to show Kathy's place." This Don't think this is going to happen. This is not the regular, so don't be like, "Let's go see Kathy's." No.
It's not a problem because of the brunch and the connection that you helped me make. That's how I wound up with this apartment
Hmm. Yes,
and so much
and
more.
I still can't believe that it's like we met at the brunch first time, and then one of the ladies who she happened to be the same graduated from the same law school. Her and her fiance were like, "We're going to help you find an apartment.
I mean,
We'll help you." And she
two
found a
days,
flat here
2 days
within what,
after the
8 days?
brunch. 2 days
Yeah.
after the brunch, the first conversation we had was her offering that she and her fiance would help me translate for me in my apartment search. I'm not even going to tell you the few number of days it took for me to get an apartment because so many people have to work so hard and so long to find an apartment. It was the speed of a miracle.
Done.
It was the speed of a miracle, but all because of connection.
Yeah. Yes.
So
And
we
so
have
so
to,
there's
we
no
have to
airs. There's no like, oh, again, it's not like I gotta be the gatekeeper of information. That's not how we work. That is not how we work. Okay. I wanted to ask you, this is so nice. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the other thing is, well, this was kind of an obvious thing. Let's see what has been the most Okay, so what do you think has been the most challenging part of your of adjusting to living in another country, in
It's
Spain?
definitely the language barrier.
Oh,
That, like, I've been able to negotiate it, but I haven't been able to fully express myself
yeah,
because, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. I went to the store today and bought a bag of chips. I didn't notice when I got back to the apartment, they had been opened. Now, if I, as an English speaker, if it was a store that was English speaking, I would have took those chips back and said, "Hey, I got these chips. They were already open. Can I have another bag?" But because of the language barrier, hindrance, challenge, I don't feel confident going back to the store to have that conversation because I don't know how to have that conversation because of the language challenge. So that's
dame
been my
me.
biggest
Wait a
challenge.
minute. Dame me moneda. I think that's it. Give me my money. Okay, give me my money. Dame me moneda.
I
Okay,
mean, it is limiting, and you can't
I
know a
could be saying
culture,
that so wrong, and people are like, "What the hell is she saying?"
and you really can't know a culture until you really know the language. So it really has been the biggest challenge. I thought the biggest challenge might be loneliness or being homesick, but honestly, your engagement, your friendship, your accompaniment, your has I haven't I was lonely one time. I haven't been homesick, but I was lonely one time. It was when the day my sister left. After she came to
Yeah.
visit, the day she left, felt like, but that only lasted half a day because I think you invited me out for drinks later on that evening or the next day. So it's
Okay,
like,
okay, girl, we good. Yes.
oh, I'm good. Back in the swing.
Well, for me, because when I first moved here officially in April of last year, I was staying with my daughter for 4 months. And before that, or my daughter, my son-in-law, the family for 4 months before my flat was ready. And then before that, I had been pet sitting a year and a half, and I didn't pay rent for a year and a half because I was pet sitting full time and stuff. But although I appreciated the, not paying rent and all that stuff, and then staying with my daughter, once I got into my own apartment, I was just so freaking happy. And my daughter was really concerned because she's like, "You're not doing anything." I'm like, "Girl, I've been doing everything for the past, year and a half, almost 2 years." So for me, sitting down and being still felt really good. But
Mhm.
also, there's so much to do here. You can find things to do. There's different groups, Internations, Gorgon International, Black in Zaragoza. There's so many things and there's so many activities here in Zaragoza. People are like, "Oh, I don't know that town." Girl, they be doing stuff. Plaza was that Fiestas del Pilar is coming up. Get
Oh
ready.
yeah.
But the thing is, you can make all the plans, and I've been known to make a lot of plans, like as far as like I'm gonna put this on my calendar. And then also I want to
Mhm.
sit still and not talk to anybody. And that's okay to sit still. And I understand the feeling of loneliness, but once you get acclimated into your new area, wherever you are, you will find ways to not just fill your time, to have good, valuable time and experiences, and also enjoy being by yourself and sitting on the couch watching trash TV. It can
That's
be done here too.
yeah, that's right. I mean, I when I moved away from the Airbnb area down to this area, I would just go and sit on a bench not in the sun, in the shade, because it was
Yeah.
infernal.
You got here in July and August like was
Oh
like
my
kicking
gosh.
butt, man.
I would just sit and just relax. In the evening time, I can't tell you how many times I was like, man, I wish I could just sleep on this bench.
Glad you didn't do that. Okay.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I
Sure
wanted
appreciate
to.
that.
Yeah, and that's the
But
thing about it. You There's a level of comfort here
mhm.
that I honestly I just didn't have outside of the house or in my backyard or on my porch.
You didn't even know it existed like that. Yeah.
I mean, and it feels natural. Like you
Yes.
don't feel weird or strange or, it just feels natural to just go sit out on the bench and just chill, just doing nothing, just sitting there, not
Yeah.
reading, not listening to anything, just watching people go by and thinking about what a blessing.
It's funny, whenever I've had a couple of people come through and visit, or even not even actually visit, because I know sometimes I've been walking with, I'll just say some people, we do a morning walk and it'll be busy. And it's like, why are these people just sitting out here on the bench doing nothing? Because they can't.
Sitting on the bench.
It's confusing. Okay. Like they just chilling. What is happening here?
It's such a man. So it's been a real blessing.
So, if you could give someone, if you felt like you could give someone some advice about possibly moving abroad, what do you think, maybe some insight that you have gained, what do you think you would tell somebody that might be a little bit like thinking that it's not possible for them? What do you think you might tell someone
Yeah.
about moving abroad?
So the same thing I said to my friends when I told them I was leaving, and they were like, "Wait, what? That doesn't what? Why would you do that? Doesn't make sense." Well, and I said, "Well, here's the thing. I can leave, and if it doesn't work out, I still have a home. I can go back. I can
Yeah.
come back. But if it does work out, oh my goodness." And so I would say, just do it. You know how when you start taking swimming lessons and the
Hmm.
first time they want you to jump into the deep end, and oftentimes the water's cold, and you are real hesitant about that. But once you
You see
jump
my face?
in, soon the water doesn't even feel cold anymore. Just jump.
Hmm.
Just do it.
It feels
That's the best
welcoming.
advice I have. Do it. Life
Yes.
is short.
Walk with the fear, walk through the fear, bring the fear with you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And still just keep moving. If that's something that you really want to do, that you feel yourself being pulled towards something different, you're like, I don't want to be said country that doesn't give a damn about me. And, let me just clarify. I'm not saying that moving to another country is going to solve all your problems. That is not what I'm saying.
Right.
What I am saying that it could definitely lighten the burden on your soul.
And
Okay.
even to your point, if even if you're not moving, even if you're not looking for a place to move to, but you have, as many people do, the fear of traveling alone. Like one of the
Hmm.
things that people keep saying to me, my friends who reach out, they still like, I still can't believe that you moved by yourself. That's so brave. That's amazing. I wish I could do something like that. The service that you're offering makes it easier for someone it's like the buddy system, right? So if you're
Yes.
jumping in off the deep end, somebody's there to hold your hand or to catch you when you hit the water. And
Yes.
that will make it much easier to do.
And so here's the thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and lean into this really good. So as I was looking at, I know my personality and I know like what I want to do. And I've definitely like one of the things that's going to be launching later on is the relocation advisor service, where again, that's another hand holding process for people that are like, they have one like bump in the road and they're like, well, I can't move now because this happened. So that's
Mhm.
another service that I'll be launching later on is the relocation advisor services, along with collaborating with the Spanish attorney here, Carlos, as far as helping you get your visa application in check. That's a whole nother conversation because I know Carlos helped you out a lot too and,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
gave you peace of mind. But with the travel buddy experience, it literally just alleviates that, like, I don't want to do it alone and you don't have to. It's like it's a jumping off board. It's a, come on over, get your feet wet, dip your toes in here and stuff, and I will meet you where you are as far as on the level of comfort that you're at and discuss what it is that you want to experience and learn and do for yourself here in Spain. Whether it's, I'm not going to be one that's like, you don't want to walk anywhere. So I'm be like, well, let's go on this 5-hour tour. I'm not doing that. Okay.
Oh, were you talking to my sister? Not on all that walking y'all doing over there.
I felt so bad. The cab dropped each of us off at the exact same wrong location. And so we had to walk. We were going to a flea market in Zaragoza, and we had to walk. And the whole time, her sister was just keeping a straight face, like, I'm okay. But I know she wanted to curse. Hell is this?
He was like,
But yes, so and the thing why I leaned into this travel buddy experience is because I realized, even though I had created meetups and things like that in Madrid and here in Zaragoza, as I was kind of fleshing out what type of service I wanted to provide, I was like, girl, you have been the auntie, the bestie, the cool cousin that they're just meeting here in Spain. So create a service around that dynamic where they don't want to do this alone, but they don't want to continue to wait for their girlfriends, their bestie, their cousins, their mom, their whoever it is, their sisters. They just want to come, but they still have some kind of apprehension about coming alone. And that's where the travel buddy experience came from. And it's curated for your specific, like, if you want to do museums, if you want the food experience, whatever it is, we create that. And it's anywhere from 1 to 3 days. 3 days is the cap. 3 days is the cap. Cause I was like, no, I don't, cause I'm not going to be like, flying off to someplace, wherever and stuff. It's like, it's an experience here in Spain. It's an experience in cities that I know about right now. It can be expanding next year, but right now it's focused on Barcelona, Madrid, and Zaragoza. That's it. So, and you have to talk to me. I don't just book you and be like, yes, I got the money. No, I actually have to talk to you and make sure that you understand. And I need to understand you and what your wants and needs are as far as your experience, because I want you to feel comfortable. And I realized that's what I've been doing all along.
um, all along. I'm the choir.
And I so appreciate you coming on here and just sharing your experience. I didn't know that I literally did not know in the past year that I had been providing such a detailed service, because I was just doing it because I love people and I love connecting with people and showing them that, I'm cheering for you, I'm rooting for you. I'm pretty expressive with my hands, but that I'm cheering and rooting for you to get to experience a different way of living. If you're not moving here to Spain, even if it is just for your travel and just a vacation getaway, and maybe you're scouting, I wanted to welcome you and let you know that you're not alone and that I'm here cheering you on and you don't
That's
have to wait.
exactly what you do, and you do it well.
Thank you so much.
You
It's
made
a
me move to Zaragoza. You made me move to Zaragoza. You made me stay in Spain.
I got her,
Just by
y'all.
being you. By being you. Thank you.
Oh, wow, this has been so great. So, what are your hopes, or what do you hope to be doing maybe in the next year? Do you have I know okay, hold up. Okay, I'm gonna put this at the beginning back. So one of the things that I love to ask, and let me see if I get my banner up here because oh, there it is. Okay, because I don't have my glasses on. So one of the things that I love to ask people, all my guests, and what I like to share every week whenever I go live is, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing that is just about you, that brings you joy, that makes you smile? What are you being selfish about? How are you doing things to just make yourself smile?
Well, I signed up for the government's Spanish class, official
Okay.
Spanish class. And even though the process was really not clear to me, I just did
Bureaucracy here
all
is
the things.
challenging.
I just did all the things. Oh, you can pre-register. I'll pre-register. Oh, you have to take a test. I'll register for that. I'll just see what happens. I did all the things, and then and then they have a lottery to see who actually gets in the class. And I
Mhm.
won the lottery, and so I start my Spanish classes tomorrow.
Yay! I'm so excited for you.
Oh,
I'm so excited
I'm
for
so
you.
excited. I walked over to the school today. It's like a 40-minute walk from where I stay. I walked over there today just to see where it was, to make sure I knew how to get there, to find out which door. So I'm ready for tomorrow morning. Ready. And it's 4 days
Okay.
a week.
I know. And so yeah, now we can't go walking early in the morning and stuff, but that's
Mhm.
fine. That's
That's
fine. So we're gonna figure it out. So, but I am so excited for you. That is so cool. So And because I was going to actually get involved and do the language immersion here, but then I decided just to go ahead and take these sewing classes. So how am I locating my cozy? Just how am I locating my cozy? I just finished my class for today before we started this interview. But yeah, I am gathering pieces that I want to alter. Yes, and people are like, "Is that locating your cozy?" Hell yeah, it is. I am finding pieces of clothes and stuff that I actually have in my closet. I'm like, I can afford to mess this up. So
Right.
yeah, if because I got a sewing machine. So I'm like, yes, I'm learning and I'm creating patterns in my class, but I'm also like, let's take some stuff that you haven't touched in a while that's in this closet that you know you're not going to wear, and it's enough fabric for you to create something. And so, yeah, just practicing stitching and
Mhm.
zigzags and all that stuff. I am really just leaning into that. And it's like my therapy, my, Zen time. And so,
I
so
love
yeah,
it.
yes,
I love it. I love it. That's
that's great.
phenomenal.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for agreeing to come on and talk to me and share your experience. And I really, again, I have a big head now. I'm so full of myself.
That is one thing that you don't have, humble. You're humble. You are
Right?
humble. Big head is not what you have, though you have big skills, big
Yes,
gifts.
I don't know where my granddaughter gets that ego from.
No,
Anyways, thank you so much. And guys, make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you need a travel buddy, if you already have your plane ticket or you're planning on coming to Spain in the next 3 months, make sure that you go to the link in the description, okay? And sign up. Go to my link. Thank you. Bye, guys.